Hey, well, all right, as always, thanks for joining. Well, just put up a new hook because my wife for Christmas got me a brand new bow to add to the collection. I'm super excited about it. And you might be wondering, what's that have to do with TEMU? Well, she bought me a new bow from TEMU, as well as I bought several other items from TEMU that are all archery related. So I'm going to show those things off and give you guys my opinion of them. So stick around. All right, well, I've got 5 new items that I got from TEMU that are all archery related, and I'm going to be showing you guys that stuff and kind of giving you my opinions on them. And I guess let's just start it all off. I'll be honest, I've already opened this package up. I've actually used some of these things, but we're going to go through them. Item number 1 is archery related. It cost me less than $5. And in case you guys didn't know, I'm a huge hat guy. I have over 100 different baseball hats. I love wearing hats. I mean, I have several that are archery related, I guess, but not quite like this one. So I ordered this off of TEMU. It cost me less than $5. And it is the Archery bucket hat. Not really a bucket hat wearer, but I just thought that was kind of cool and kind of funny for less than $5. So I picked one of these up. It's actually a comfortable hat. My wife said it doesn't look all that bad, although she wouldn't be seen in public with me wearing it. So take that with a grain of salt. I may take this to my next Bows and Bibles shoot, wear that. Anyway, $5, archery related, so I figured I'd pick it up. Item number 2 is a micro scale for checking weights of arrow tips and arrows. I've been wanting something small and compact like this. I have another scale, but I just didn't really trust it because it was like a much bigger scale for weighing the arrows, and this works out really well. And we'll look at that in just a second. And then the next item that I bought was a couple of stabilizers. And I know I could have spent and bought some, some bee stingers or something like that, but I was looking for stabilizers specifically for my new Matthews lift. So I got a brand new Matthews lift 33, and that I'm going to be using this for the 2025 season, and I'm going to be doing a video on the whole setup of this thing later on. But if you want to see how I got this bow for $40, you can check that video out right over here. But I was wanting a new stabilizer and a back bar for this thing. I've never shot with a back bar. I've only used stabilizers that I've built. And I built this stabilizer here for my Elite Remedy, and you can check the video for that one out right up over here. I've modified it since with a little, I think they call it the Mule, similar style to that. Just kind of made my own and fastened it onto there, which is really nice for carrying that around in the woods. But anyway, I bought these stabilizers, and I have tried them out. So there we have it. They are very similar to the bee stinger look. They're solid carbon stabilizers with a rubber dampener on it with removable weights. So these are 2-ounce weights that you can take off, one or both of them. And then if you wanted to, you could also take off the dampener. And you could swap out the dampener for just the weights if you wanted. However you want to do it. So it has some cool options. I've shot them already on this Matthews bow, as well as I've shot them on my Remedy, and I really like these things. I think they're fairly well built, and to keep with the TEMU fashion, I have put them on my back bar, adjustable back bar mount that I got from TEMU, and that back bar mount also came with a front mount from TEMU that also has a angled drop down here. So instead of this stabilizer sticking straight out, it has 2 different options to angle that down. So we've got it on the larger drop down. I don't know what degree it is, maybe like a 5 degree, something like that, 3 and a 5 degree, something like that. But really cool. These work really well. And then the last item that I ended up ordering from TEMU was these guys right here. I ordered myself some arrows. I know what you're thinking. Seriously, they can't be any good. Well, I guess you're gonna have to stick around and find out if they really are. I ordered a dozen of these arrows. They're really cool, have a fade from green to white to black. They are 300 spine. They come with what appear to be boning fletchings. I believe there actually are boning fletchings, but just with this brand's name on them. They come with 100 grain field points, inserts already in them, And they came with an extra set of inserts, so if you want to chop these down to make them custom length, you can just glue in the new inserts, which we will be doing. And these seem to be some decent arrows. They're by no means as nice as my Easton Axis as far as being true, but they're some decent arrows. Now, they have some wobble in them. They are by no means perfect. But I would say that they are probably the plus or minus 0.006 range. They're not like my match grade Easton Axis that are plus or minus 1. Those are some really, really nice arrows. And if you want to watch for another video that I'm going to be having coming up, and we're going to be comparing the Easton Axis versus RIP TKOs versus TEMU. And we'll see how these arrows really fare out. But so far I've taken them out and already shot them, and they group not too terribly. All right, the target's looking really rough. Definitely needs to be refaced, but we gotta shoot. So we're gonna do. Let's see. I know those arrows are gonna be good. The other ones, let's see, they're gonna be flying high probably. So that'll be my TEMU dot. And let's shoot 6 and 6, see how we do. And we've got our hat on from TEMU. We got our TEMU stabilizer on. And like I said, I haven't shot in at least a month. So this should be interesting. So now we have our TEMU arrows. Alright, shot one. Okay, went high, but I knew they would because they're like 100 grains lighter than my stock arrow that I'm set up for. So I'm just going to keep aiming at the same dot. All about where they group, not where they are at on the dot. And I mean, we've got all 6 arrows of the TEMU I can put my hand around. This one looks really bad, but basically the same thing. This arrowhead just flopped way down. All 6 of these Easton Axis. So at 20 yards, it's a comparable group. Oh, by the way, you didn't think I could end it without a little destruction, did you? We've got that can of spray paint, so I mean, we got to test a TEMU arrow out against a can of spray paint, so let's see what happens. Alright, so if I aim at the bottom of that can, that's pretty good. Yep, that worked. Now let's see what happens. Well, the arrow didn't last, that's for sure. So we busted the arrow in half. We went right through the top here. And there's the other half of the arrow. Well, good. So we blew an arrow up, and let's do some looking into this arrow. Because I know what you're all wanting to know is, you want to see the bow that my wife got me. Well, you're going to have to stick around a little bit later because we're going to talk about all these other products before we get into the bow. All right, so we have our brand new mini scale here, and it is this digital scale professional mini. Takes 2 AAA batteries. It's got all the garbage in the back, but let's just get into it. Open this thing up. It's got a nice little cover on it. It's got how to use it, which, I mean, if should know how to use a scale. I mean, you turn it on. You have different modes that you can go through. And you can go through, let's see, TI, whatever that is. I can't, milliliters? That can't be milliliters. I don't know what that is. You got grams, CT, ounces, OZT, whatever that is, DWT, and then grains, GN for grains. So I turn this thing on. Let's do tare. I guess that's going to zero it out. And let's use the scale to check weights on our TEMU arrows. We're going to check the 11 that I have. So with a 100 grain point in there, we're at 397.8. And I know if some of you kept track, that's only 11 arrows, and we'll get into why there isn't a 12th. But, I mean, they're within a few grains of each other, and I think that's totally acceptable. So here's the other thing I want to do is I want to check the diameter of this arrow. And the diameter of this arrow, sorry, I'm old. I'll take my glasses off to see this. Just put those anywhere. Let's say it's 293, and that's going to compare with some Scheels Vendetta 300 spines that I had, and they are plus or minus 6 thou spine aligned. And these are at 302. So overall with these items, I'm really happy with them. I think for the price I paid for these, let's talk about prices that I did pay, I guess. I can remember the price I paid for the hat was less than $5. I believe this scale, I think I got it on sale for about $4, which that's a steal for this. Great deal on that. Between the two stabilizers, we're looking at probably like $30 to $40 a piece, which you'd easily spend $120 just on this 12-inch stabilizer here. I bought the 12-inch up front, 8-inch for the back, and I think easily was a great deal on that. And then the arrows, for a dozen arrows, fletched with nocks, with field points, 300 spine, came in at about $42. So I think that was a great deal on that. So overall, I think I spent a little over $100, 120, 130 bucks with shipping and everything else and taxes to get all of those things. So I think overall I got a great deal. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the bow that my wife got me from TEMU. I got my new hook up here, and so let's get into it. Sorry to disappoint. It is not exactly a hunting bow, but it is a little compound bow. Comes with a dozen little arrows with metal points on them. And I tell you what, it does launch arrows. We shot a bunch of them Christmas morning, and we had a blast. It came with a little target. We set that thing up, and you know, if you're not careful, you know, you might be able to poke a hole in a couch cushion or something like that with them, or stick one into the wall. Not that I know anything about doing that. But it is a fun little toy. We've had a blast with it. Set up the little target and had a little target practice with these little arrows. Line these bad boys up like this and just pinch the arrow, pull it on back, and I just stuck it in a chair a good 10 yards away. We hit that chair over there, and I'm pretty sure the arrow is stuck in it. So I'll take you guys over there with me, and let's go get that arrow. That thing just impaled on there. It was pretty sweet. Don't tell my wife. All right, we've got our TEMU bow. We've got our TEMU target set up, probably about 10, 12 feet away. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, it's close. Oh man, that's close to the bullseye. Gotta say, I enjoy it. I think this thing will definitely be heading its way up to deer camp next year for a little indoor archery competition. So it's a fun little toy. I think it's worth the 10 or 12 bucks you can spend on this thing. So get you one of those. All right, well, there it is, the new bow added to the collection. Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're interested in any of these TEMU products, hit me up down in the comments below. I can give you some more details on them. If you want to bash me for buying TEMU, go ahead, hit me up in the comments down below. I'm sure I'll have some of that. But if you do, here's something to keep in mind. 90% of the stuff in your house is bought in China too. You just bought it off of Amazon. I cut the middleman out and had it shipped straight from China. So go ahead. You can argue with me all you want. That's okay. But as always, thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys next time.